Hi everybody, welcome to or back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming my September garden tour for you. I garden in Chicago, which is zone 5B/6A, and the main portion of my garden is located behind my garage. I've planted a couple of things back there that were intended to be for my fall garden. I've already made a lot of mistakes, so I'm going to be talking through that when I take you back there. But what you're also going to see is you're also going to see a lot of plants that look like this. So this purslane may look dead, but it's actually not dead. I'm actually letting it go to seed so that I can harvest the seeds and use them in my garden next year. So because of some of the mistakes that I've made back there, I'm also going to be planting up some things today. So I'm about a month behind to actually be like planting things in the garden for fall harvest, but we're going to give it a whirl. You never know. The weather is unpredictable in Chicago. Sometimes it can be, you know, warm all the way through Thanksgiving. Sometimes it snows the first week of October. You just kind of never know. So we're gonna give it a whirl. We're gonna see what we can do. There's also a couple of experiments that I'm going to be doing over the winter that I just kind of decided last minute to do. So I'll tell you what I'm gonna do and I'll show you where those are gonna go. But with all of that being said, let's head on back into the garden. Okay, so this is the overview of the garden space, and the first major change here that you're going to see is going to be the arch. So I pulled the cucamelons a couple of weeks ago and I actually planted peas in their place. I came out this morning and discovered that something has dug up all of my peas. So that's a little bit frustrating. I'm going to replant them in today, but peas take about 60 days to come to maturity, and I just don't know at this point if I'm going to have enough time, but we're going to give it a whirl, see what we can get. All right, so coming on in, I think I'm going to do what I always do and start at the back. Okay, so here I've got some beets and carrots. I will link my seed germination video up above and down below if you want to see the trick that I use to help ensure proper germination for them. But the issue is that something came in here, and I think I've had a lot of trouble with critters using my garden beds as a bathroom, and I think that's what happened here, because as you can see, there are carrots up here that aren't supposed to be there. All of the carrots were supposed to be here, and they were supposed to go all like in this entire area, and they're all just kind of clustered right here. So I'm not sure if I'm going to pull these and kind of just eat the greens and then start over, or if I'm just gonna let these go, kind of chalk it up to whatever, and then maybe try to get a row of beets and carrots somewhere else in the garden. So that's a decision I will make today, but at any rate, that's what's going on here. And then moving over here, I've got lemon balm, lemon verbena doing wonderfully. I'm going to be harvesting a whole bunch of these herbs today to dry. My parsley is almost completely gone because as we go around the corner, I will show you the caterpillars that I've been raising. And then my basils are back there. My tricolor sage is just being completely choked out, but he's doing well under there. And then I've got rosemary. This bed I'm having some trouble with this white mold. Let me see if I can get down there. I don't know if you can really see this, but I'm having some trouble with this white mold in this bed down here. I'm not exactly sure what that is. I've got it back here as well. So if you know what that is, leave a comment down below, let me know. I'm gonna do some research on that, but all of my tomatoes here I struggled with this year, and they had a lot of disease, and I'm kind of thinking that that was the reason why. All right, my pepper bed though, doing amazing. I have to come and harvest a whole bunch of these. My shishitos are down here. I've got banana peppers that are just doing very well. Cherry bomb peppers in the back. Still have our mystery pepper. I think this might be a Thai chili now that I'm looking at the way they're growing and kind of the coloring. I can do a taste test in a moment here. And then I've got my Cupid sweet bells here. I harvested a bunch of those the other day, but they're these like little mini bells, super cute. And then I do have a Melrose behind that's gotten completely choked out. So speaking of choking out, these are my pole beans, and as you can see, I clearly planted way too many in this space. They are just taking over absolutely everything. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. At this point in the season, I think I might just let them go and hope for the best because they're so intertwined with each other. I cannot quite possibly thin them out, but now I know. So this is my first year growing pole beans. Hopefully I'll get a little harvest, not too much disease, and that now I know for next year. But yeah, so those are all pole beans. And then down here, I've got a ground cherry plant, which again, I did not realize that ground cherries like spread this much. So he's like all the way out here. Even if I peek around here, I've got, I don't even know if you can see. Oh my gosh, I've got one like coming out way down there. So ground cherries are completely choking everything else out. In here, I also planted mustard and arugula and bok choy and spinach, which obviously has all died because of the pole beans and the ground cherries, but you know, that's all right. We're gonna get some planted up today and hopefully see that if at least maybe we can get one harvest out of it. All right, so we're gonna come around this way. I've got my onion bed here starting to flower, so I've got to get that taken care of today as well, and my thyme plant. So that's the back garden area, and it looks massively different than it did last month. But yeah, still have a lot of things growing back there, and I'm still harvesting a lot of stuff, so pretty pleased with what's going on back there. All right, so coming along to the patio, I'm letting all of this area here go to seed. So I've got some purslane up here that I'm letting go to seed. I'm also letting my calendulas go to seed. I am not going to be planting these things in this bed next year. It just did not get enough sun here for them to thrive. These are my two lavender plants down here that are really struggling, but still have a lot of green on them. And so I think I'm gonna pull them today and transfer them into a pot, hopefully try to save them, you know, overwinter them, I mean, and grow them next year, so. All right, coming up here, these are some plants that I picked up at a local garden center. So I've got some various kales here. I have more marigolds just because I love them and I think they're beautiful. A creeping Jenny, I'm gonna plant that actually for indoors. And then these are some plants that are not looking so great, but I got 6 romaine, some lettuce, I have 6 kale back there, and then up in the front I have a really struggling, what is it? Oh yeah, Swiss chard. But each of these were 99 cents on sale. So I figured, you know what, for $4 to get what, 6, 12, 14 plants, it's worth it just to, you know, give it a whirl. So, all right, traveling up, my croton is just loving life as usual. I think I'm gonna need to put him in a bigger pot. So these though are the caterpillars that I've been overwintering, so I have to clean their cage today. I have to switch out their food because some of it is yellowing there, but I do have quite a few, as you can see up there, in chrysalises. I got a wandering one over there. I've got some chrysalises down here, and all in all there's about 17 of them in here, so I'm going to be overwintering them as well and releasing them in the spring. All right, coming up here, I'm also letting my nasturtium go to seed. All right, and heading up to the front, these are some bush beans that I started a while ago, and I've got quite a few that I have to harvest today. So they're these long purple, oops, where are they? These long purple kind of bush beans. And then I have a fig plant that has a couple figs that are ready to be harvested today. And I'm going to be harvesting up my watermelon today. Might be too late for that, I don't know, but we're gonna harvest the watermelon up today. And then I have another ground cherry plant. This is the size that I thought ground cherries got, so I'm just shocked at what happened in the back bed there. But anyway, another ground cherry plant. Okay, coming up here is the Swiss chard that's kind of struggling, as you can see. But again, it was 99 cents, and I do have some healthy growth here. So I think with some room and some nutrients and some water and some sun, that will bounce back. I'm not worried about it at all. And then I've got tarragon here, some more rosemary, dill, cilantro, and then back there I've got these fairy tale eggplants, which are starting to come in. And they're just these little mini eggplants, purple and white striped. I love these. So I've harvested probably about a dozen already. Okay, swinging around to the pepper bed. I made a lot of mistakes with this pepper bed this year, but I've learned a lot, and there are things that I will not be doing next year and things that I absolutely will be doing next year. So anyway, I'm going to be harvesting these and pulling this today. I picked up this mini drop greenhouse at Aldi for about $10. So I think what I'm gonna do is plant up some of the kales and things that you saw on the table back there in here. Maybe try to get some mustard and some arugula going, because both of those are pretty cold hardy. And then I'm gonna put the greenhouse over it and I'm gonna see what I can grow over the winter. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we're gonna give it a whirl. So I've got to prune down this rose bush, but the roses that I got from my neighbor are just doing very well. I've got to deadhead some of these. All right, and then coming on up the stairs, my ginger is looking good. Probably will harvest that next month, maybe even in November, depending on the weather, how the weather goes. And then my stevia plant, just a little dry. I gotta water. Winter savory. My bay leaf that, as you can see, something's digging in there. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, man. The squirrels, I think, are hiding stuff or looking for things. I don't know. Anyway, oregano, more oregano, garlic chives. And then my kale that I've been struggling with all season. So I basically cut all of the leaves off because something was eating it. I didn't know what it was, whether it was earwigs or what, with the exception of just like a couple of these little guys in the middle there. And it's bouncing back. I mean, if anything, I have to say this guy's a fighter. He's a fighter. So pretty happy with what I've got. And I have harvested quite a bit of kale, so. This chive plant I've had probably for a decade, and I think I might try to find a more permanent spot for him. I think I might plant him up in the front where the natives are. Haven't quite decided yet, but you know, he's my fave. And then coming up the stairs, I've got more marigolds. I've got to deadhead a bunch of these. My creeping Jenny that is just looking beautiful. And then over here some more marigolds that I've got to kind of deadhead and just clean up a little bit. Okay, so that's pretty much what I've got going on in the backyard here. I'm going to take you up to the front and show you kind of the native garden bed. And then at the end of this video, I will kind of pop around really quickly and show you where I landed after I do all of my work today. Okay, so this is the overview, the native flower bed. And as you can see, it's sort of at various stages right now. So some of these, like this is my spiderwort. Over here is my black-eyed Susan. They are kind of going dormant for the fall and the winter. And this is the wild bergamot. This is the aster, which is not blooming. It should be, but it looks like it might start having some blooms here. So I'm hoping that that blooms in the next couple of weeks. Got the purple prairie clover here. This is wild bergamot. My Ohio goldenrod needs some support back there. I think I'm gonna harvest out the gomphrenias. Letting some of them, like this one, go to seed so that I can harvest those seeds. That one as well. There's another one here. And then my straw flowers. I am also letting a couple of those go to seed so that I can harvest those seeds. But those are my straw flowers. And then my sunflowers. I have harvested so many sunflowers. And these just have so many pollinators. I absolutely love them. The birds love these as well. Like I think over here, I can show you like this. Thank you. Like here, these are kind of going to seed, so the birds will come in and they'll eat those. Here, the birds will come and start kind of pecking away at this. So I am going to leave a lot of these for the birds. I have pulled some. Here, I have pulled some to save seeds for next year, as well as also to eat. So yeah, the overview of the native bed. Kind of the good thing about natives is they're really sort of hands-off. I haven't had to do much to this bed this year. Pretty much just let it do its thing, and over the winter I'm gonna let it do its thing. I think I might try to get some tulips around the borders, especially over here, because I'm not sure I'm gonna grow these next year. I might be replacing these with more natives, but I don't know, these sunflowers are just so beautiful. I might have to do those again. Hey buddy. Look at you. Look at that guy. He's going on all the plants.
Aw, hi Bumblebee.
Let's see. Do we have any bees over here? Oh yeah. Tons of bees. Tons of bees.